So in my neck of the woods, it's midterm season. And you know what that means? I want to show you my tips and tricks for cramming in as much as you can into those poor 24 hours that you just keep pummeling with more crap. This is going to be useful if you're cramming for a test, if you're just preparing for midterms like I am, or if it's finals week and you haven't studied all semester. I mean, no judgments. Okay, a little judgment. The first tip I want to give you is to be carrying around a clipboard as often as you can. This is one of the things that took my time management from okay to excellent. I'll always have some sort of task that I can be working on, some kind of paper or research that I can be reading over in here. And whenever I have a spare minute, that might be in line at a coffee shop, it might be when I'm waiting for food to cook at home, it might be at a red light. Please don't do this while you're driving. Please. But while you're at a red light, you can grab your clipboard, look over it and see, okay, this is what I have to work with today. And it gives you more time to go over whatever list or reading you have prepared. My second tip would be to utilize flashcards. Take a few minutes while you're waiting for class to start or while you're in the restroom and just go over some of these good old note cards. You know, that's especially useful if you are dealing with medical terminology, if you're dealing with definitions for a foreign language, anything where you can condense into a small note card and look over it often. My third tip is do yourself a favor. Download a picture to PDF style app on your e-reader or on your phone, whatever is most convenient for you. And before you go to bed, crack open that textbook and take a picture of the next chapter or the next segment that you have to read over. Now, you've got it in your e-reader or your phone and you can take it with you wherever you need to, and you don't have to lug around that big heavy book. Now that you've got the next chapter of your book loaded onto here, you take this everywhere, cram it in wherever you can. As long as you have it on you and you keep remembering to use it, you will find that you're opening that textbook a lot more often, you're reading, you're retaining more information. My fourth tip, if you are in the middle of studying, something pops into your head and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I didn't take care of that, I've got to take care of that. Just write it down on a piece of paper, keep some sort of running to-do list, write it down on there, and then set it to the side. You don't need to worry about that while you're studying. That can be used for when you have free time after. That was a good one, Alexis. Free time. My fifth tip, which I guess should have been my first tip, but you know, things happen, is triage. Take whatever is the biggest, most overwhelming thing that you have to take care of, the most pressing matter, and study that first or do those drills first, and then you can go on and take care of everything else after. And I go more into depth on the triage method on my Tackling Overwhelm video, so check that out. Tip number 6 is to utilize your commute. On the days that I have classes or I have meetings, I have an hour commute to school and then an hour commute back. And that's a whole lot of wasted time. But I found the most effective way to take advantage of that is to have on podcast while I'm driving. Now, because I drive myself and I can't take public transportation, I don't have the luxury of being able to do my homework on the way to school. Make it relevant to what you're studying. So I loved using podcasts when I was studying German, and I would turn on this podcast called Coffee Break German and review grammatical concepts that we were going over in the class in a new way. So I was learning even more than what the teacher was teaching me in the classroom. Anything that's going to make your commute work for you a little bit more is going to benefit you in the long run. My 7th tip, which may not be what you were expecting, is to take frequent breaks. If you are trying to study or cram for 5 straight hours, you're going to burn yourself into the ground, and that's just a fact. What I recommend is setting a timer for, let's say, 20 to 40 minutes, whatever your level of concentration is at, and then have a period of rest or a break where you take 10 to 20 minutes, or even 5 if you're on that much of a crunch. The key on these breaks is to not grab your phone and start scrolling through. The key there is to really take time to relax and clear your mind of all of the knowledge you've been trying to cram in. Take 5, 10, 20 minutes and do something manual. Go cook yourself a meal. Go take a quick walk. Just go to the bathroom. But don't make it something that your brain has to be actively engaged in. If you get to a point where you simply cannot keep focusing, you can't keep retaining new information, it's okay to stop. I promise. You know, even if it's at 3 p.m. and you thought that you'd be able to go till 9 p.m. and you were so hyped to do that, you can only work with what your brain's giving you. So do the best you can with what you have, but accept when your body and your brain is telling you that you just need to stop. This will help you avoid burnout in the long run as well. Take that time once your brain is full to get more sleep, make a healthier meal, take care of housework that's gone undone, or anything that is manual that doesn't require a lot of brain power the way studying does. You get what I'm saying? And my final tip is to take that wonderful task list that you've been accumulating during the day, or if you haven't, take a few minutes after you're done for the day and write down what you need to take care of in the future, and write it down in your planner or in your calendar as a concrete, I must do this item. You're much more likely to stick to it if you have it set up as some sort of appointment. Now, before I go to bed, what I will actually do is I will take some sort of task that I need to take care of tomorrow. Let's say it's like reading a chapter in my mythology textbook. I'll take my mythology textbook and I'll put it right by my bedside. If I'm in a season of hustling and I'm really trying to get as much information in as possible, when I wake up, I'm not going to want to leave my bed. And so this is a way of making sure that even if I don't want to leave my bed, I still have access to something that I can be doing, making the most out of that morning time. I do not recommend using these techniques at all times, because then you start feeling like whatever project it is that you're working on, it's just consuming your entire life. But if you are getting closer to midterms or finals, or if you've fallen behind on your schoolwork and you just need the extra help to catch up, that's where I think these tips really come into play. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.